You have a cat there.
Look at that.
Brilliant. Okay, that's great. We'll have to. We've got quite a few cat fans who listen to the podcast, so they can see your cat. What's your cat?
Actually, I have two cats.
You have two cats.
Excellent. Okay. You look like a Bond villain.
Hello and welcome to the Health Oddity Podcast, episode 202. So episode 202, and we have a big guest with us today, and I'm so happy to have been able to line up this guest with us today. He is the first Ukrainian guest that we've ever had on the podcast in 200 episodes, and he is coming live to us today from Lviv in Ukraine, and we've just had a little bit of a chat. First of all, I'll keep it brief today, Pete. I'll just check in with you. Are you doing okay? No, you're right.
I'm very well, thank you. Let's crack on.
Brilliant. Okay, so I did say we are joined today by Mr. Pavlo Kordiyaka. How are you doing, Pavlo? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm at home now, just resting today. I have nothing to train, so it's rest day.
Rest day today. And we did just check in. Pavlo sent me a message just before coming on air, very graciously, humbly, just sort of said, "Can you speak slowly on the podcast because English isn't his native language?" And we both said that,
especially British English.
British English. Yeah.
That's why I'm going to stay quiet. You won't. Yeah.
I like British English. I'm watching TV serials and films like in original, and I like when it's British English because it's so fun. It's so fancy for me.
Okay, well, yeah, Peter is from Newcastle, up in the north of England, so he's got a bit of an accent as well. So we said that your English is far better than our Ukrainian to talk to you. So no, it's great having you with us. And I'm just
glad your English is not Ireland English.
Not Irish English.
Yeah. I think our listeners will be happy with that as well.
Yeah, we have had quite a few Irish guests on, and I know that I think even when the Irish guests come on, the people in America sometimes struggle to understand the language as well. So that's great. And Pavlo, you've already introduced us to, and I said we've got a few people I know who listen who are fans of cats and who have cats. And certainly Alex, Nicole Bennett, who was on the show, and Lauren Emery, who was on the show, have all got cats. And you introduced us, or we saw one of your cats a minute ago, and you've got two cats, you said, yeah? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pavlo.
By the way, here's a dog. As you can see.
You've got a dog as well there.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
He's healing.
Okay.
Well, hang on.
Oh, we're having a pet show.
My boy is sleeping in his basket. City. Yeah. There he is. Look.
Yeah. Excellent. So for those of you who don't know, Pavlo is one of the top strongmen in the world currently. He was the 2023 Europe's strongest man. I think the last 2 years, so I think 2023 and 2024, you've reached the world's strongest man finals, haven't you, Pavlo?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So at the top of his game at the moment. And also this podcast is going out, if you listen on the day it comes out, which I know many of you do, on the 12th of July. So this podcast is going out on Friday, the 12th of July. And on Saturday, the 13th of July, Pavlo will be at the Royal Albert Hall in London, competing in the Giants Live Strongman Classic. And I will be there watching. I'll be there in the audience at the Royal Albert Hall, along with many listeners I know to the podcast. So we just want to have a conversation with you, say, Pavlo. It'd be really interesting to know, because I think at the moment are you 28? Is that how old you are at the moment?
Yeah, 28. I'll become 29 and 2nd of July.
Okay. So in a couple of weeks you'll be 20. Yes, you'll be 29 when we see you in London. Yeah. So, and you are sporting, I'd probably say that the most epic. Well, you and Pete have got similar beards actually, but I'd say that you've got
You must be feeling so inadequate, James, right now.
This is very true. Yeah.
You know, we understand each other. You've got no chance.
I did. I may have to. I'm feeling. Yeah, I'll have to say to my wife to grow my. But Steph hated it when I had a big beard. But I used to have a beard down here, you know. But it's all trimmed now and nice and neat.
I said that to her, didn't I? And she was like, "No, no chance." And I was like, "No, it'd be great." But
I did see some pictures, Pavlo, of you a few years ago when you didn't have a beard, like when you were younger on Facebook, I think. But you've had a beard for quite a few years now, have you?
Yeah, I started to grow my beard maybe in the end of 2022.
Ah, okay, yeah.
It was in November in 2022.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
I love it. Beard chat.
Beard chat. Okay. So Pavlo, you're 28 now. You're nearly 29. Like I said, you are one of the top strongmen in the world. You know, reached the finals in the last 2 world's strongest men. And so what was life like for you growing up? I mean, when did you get involved in sport? And I know I think I've read you did various sports growing up, but what kind of sports did you do as a child and as a teenager? And when did you sort of start doing strength sports and weightlifting and things like that?
Well, I'm in sport almost all my life, so I start training when I was 6 years old. I'm starting with football, and after it was acrobatic. Not after, it was like it's at the same time I'm doing. I did football and the same day acrobatic. So I came home from football training, changed my bag, and going to acrobatic.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, and in school, in middle school, I did ballroom dancing.
Oh, ballroom dancing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent.
It was weird period of my life. Yeah. And when I finished school, I start and last classes of school, and in university I did MMA, boxing, wrestling, so something like that. Yeah. And by the way, my brother is a national champion of MMA.
Okay.
Yeah. And
And
after
did you ever compete in boxing or MMA? Did you have any
MMA,
competitions, any fights? Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Few times it wasn't so popular, and at the time I was 100+ kilos. So and I was studying in university, and I decided, so I need to change the sport, because when somebody who is 100 kilos as well hitting you on your head, it isn't good for your memory, you know. And I was studying in university. I'm physical therapist, so you know I must study very well because it's medical. And I decided to change sports and trying to going to the gym and just trying to do bodybuilding, a bit lifting. And there was the guys who doing strongman, and they asked me to try. I wasn't good, to be honest.
Okay.
But you know, it's good sport. I like it. I'm still enjoying the sport. And day by day, I'm growing up, competing a lot. You know, I have more than 200 competition behind my back. Before I started competing at pro level, you know.
And did you find that you took to strength training quite well? I mean, did you're 6'5", and I think now you're maybe around what 130, 140 kilos, are you, or not quite that? Is that around what you are at the moment?
135.
135. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you take to strength training well? Were you strong from the very start? Did you start to develop and grow in size quite naturally, quite quickly? Were you strong to begin with, or was it something you had to work on?
I just started to, because I just wanna at the moment I wanna be stronger, bigger, faster, you know. And when I was kid, I'm growing at this period when it was competition, when Big Z competing, Vasyl Verstyuk from Ukraine, and they battling each show. And I'm watching this TV show in Ukraine. So it was something like they were like superhumans, superheroes, you know. So in my head, it was like they are like supernatural, you know. And I'm just trying to be like them, you know, like they. And you know, I wasn't so successful like these guys. I'm just enjoying to lifting the stones, to running with yoke, to lifting dumbbells, you know, pulling some trucks.
And
You feel like unusual. You are not a regular human.
Yeah. And I mean, I was going to ask because you are like I said, you are a big guy, 6'5", 135 kilos. So, and I've stood next to you at the I saw you at the UK Strongest Man last year when you did the Husafell stone. You went for the record of the carry there. So you're a huge guy, but compared to, there are some real, like people like Tom Stoltman, people like Hafthor Bjornsson, people like Brian Shaw, who are probably like, they're maybe 6'9", 6'10", and 160, 170 kilos. So you're not one of the biggest there, but you have a lot of athleticism, don't you? So the kind of the traveling events, the moving events. I know the Conan's wheel that you do very well, the carrying events. How do you? What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite event to compete in, or what do you see your strength is?
You know, yeah, I have my favorite events, but you know, I guess I'll impress you because my favorite event is deadlift. I really like deadlift, but it's my weak event because my back injury. But I really like this event, and I hate carrying cardio events.
You hate carrying cars?
Yeah, because you need to endure a lot of pain.
Okay.
While you're running with something, you have like you don't have enough oxygen. Your pain muscle is burning. You need to endure a lot of pain, a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I hate like events like Conan Wheel, steeplechase race, or something. But deadlift is a lovely event for me.
Yeah, because I think they're doing the Conan's Wheel at the Royal Albert Hall in London, aren't they? I think that's one of the events there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but you do. I remember watching you. I think maybe one of the events from last year where you did really well. I think you broke the record, or you certainly won the Conan's Wheel. You were the best at that. So it's interesting that you're very, very good at that event, but you don't really enjoy it. No.
Yeah, I broke the record last year at Europe's, and I broke the record again at WSM because it was heavier. It was 250.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
your deadlift, you say you really enjoy the deadlift. You say it's not your strongest event, but you enjoy doing it. But what's your current max deadlift? Your max deadlift?
to be honest, I didn't do my max deadlift because in every competition we have deadlift for reps, so I didn't prepare for 1 rep max, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess it isn't good idea to lifting your max in gym. So, you know, I'm competing at pretty high level, and it isn't smart to doing your max result in gym. So I'm preparing to competition and trying to peak my shape to the competition.
So I think at London as well, there's going to be, I think it's a max rep axle bar deadlift.
Yeah,
I think you'll be doing. Yeah. So this is really good, because for you to be saying this as one of the strongest people in the world, that you don't know what your 1 rep max is because you don't train it and you don't test it, and it's not wise to. Yet so many people, I don't know, it's certainly in England, maybe the same in Ukraine. You go into like a public gym, and you've got people testing their 1 rep maxes all the time because they want to. Is that what do you see that often? You know, people just want to constantly test how strong they are. But you, as a strong man, as a professional, and like you said, the physical therapist as well, I think you said, it's not wise to be testing your 1 rep max if you don't need to. Yeah.
You know, because it's very exhausting for your central nervous system when you're working all the time with heavy weights. Sometimes you need to do some like easy trainings, like the loading phase. You know, you don't need to work every time for like 90%, 100%. Most often I'm working like 75 to 80%. And as closer to competition, as higher as percentage of my trainings.
So in that, it's 75 to 80% is widely known within the industry, but people, you know, your average gym goer still tries to go higher, don't they? But has that, so that 75 to 80%, has that risen over the last 4 or 5 years, say? So every time you compete, do you move up a level? Does that make sense? So you actually get stronger. So 70% or 80% becomes heavier. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just for example, if my if my axle press is 200 kilos and I did like 210, so 75% is getting heavier.
Yeah. And that's training. So we've talked about that a lot, of training within relative comfort. I mean, it's obviously not like lifting 200 kilos above your head is never going to be comfortable. But not that I'd know. But yeah, so training within relative comfort. So actually, when it does get heavier, you're still able to keep going. You're still able to turn up. So how often do you compete? Because obviously you'll try a max when you compete, say. So how often is that in a year?
Okay, I try to focus on 2 or 3 like major competition in the season.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm trying to pick my shape to this competition. You know, you can't stay on your perfect shape like whole year.
Yeah.
It's impossible because your nervous system is exhausting. You need to take time to rest, to recover. So you need to building your like training session smart, and you can't be the strongest version of yourself every like 12 months.
So you'd say you max 3 times a year maximum, sometimes twice.
You know,
and the events will be different, won't they, Pablo?
Yeah.
It's not like you'll always.
Yeah. One competition we have like max reps, and one competition we have 1 rep max. So
yeah.
So that's a lesson for everyone. Twice a year.
Yeah. And I think I saw is your current your max log overhead. That's, I mean, at the moment, just as a ballpark figure, that's around 200 kilos, isn't it? I think at the moment, is that right?
In gym, I did 205.5.
Yeah. So that's an log overhead. Yeah, 205 kilos. Yeah.
And in last year in Glasgow, I almost lifted 210. I look out my elbows, shoulders, but I started to run to the judges. And I can stop, and I decided to drop the log because if I'm not dropping, it could be something bad.
Yeah. Because I know that the big sort of like log pressers, people like maybe IMBB and Luke Stoltman, and again, but they're not lifting much more than that, and they've maybe got another 40, 50 kilos body weight on top of you, haven't they? So your log press is right up there. You know, considering you're a much lighter competitor than some of these, you know, IMBB is probably he must be nearly 200 kilos of body weight, I'd imagine, you know. So to lift 205-ish kilos in a log at a body weight of 135, that's huge. That's like 1.7, 1.8 times body weight, I think, above your head, which is huge. Oh, we've got a little cat visit.
I'm glad it was the face.
It's huge.
Oh, that's the other one. Here's the difference.
Hey.
Now. Hey, okay.
I'm saying I'm glad it was the face, because usually on Zoom chats you'll see the other end of the cat, just like standing there like, whoa.
David. So in terms of training, I think you mentioned before we started recording, you're training 6 days a week at the moment. Is that right, Pavlo?
Yeah.
And Thursday, today, when we're recording, is your day off. So you don't do any training.
Yeah. So it's Thursday or Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. And what does your training look like at the moment in terms of how long do you train for each day? And are you working on a certain kind of training split, and certain days you do event days and certain what does the bulk of your training look like at the moment?
You know, my training is like each session is different, because one day I did like events, like some static lifting, and next day I'm doing like 30 minutes of cardio, conditioning, stretching, mobility, and like active recovery, you know. The next day it's all it's again like events, lifting. Like yesterday I did power snatch, I did medley with back, like rope climbing and sled pulls. And after I did like Conan wheels, like with yoke run.
Yeah.
And some holding for my grip.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And have you ever done like Olympic weightlifting? Like, because you said you've done power snatch and things, because you're someone who, when you do the events, like the overhead events and things, you, like I mentioned, your athleticism, you're very athletic, and you really do jerk, you know, you jerk weights very, very well for lifting overhead. Do you do a lot of kind of maybe like clean and jerks, snatches, that sort of thing as part of your training?
Yeah, I'm doing like power cleans, power snatches, maybe once or twice per week at least. And I did weightlifting in the past, like for fun. It was like when I was in off season, I'm just lifting. I'm doing weightlifting just for fun, just because I like it. So now I'm using for improve some qualities I need in sport, in strongman, like explosive power, fast, you know, speed or something.
Yeah. And in terms of someone of your size, 6'5", 135 kilos, what's your nutrition, your diet like? I mean, is that something, do you pay a lot of attention to that? Is that something you have to be eating a lot every day to maintain your size and your strength and to fuel your training? What's diet like for you as a strongman?
Okay, I'm trying to eat like 6,500 calories to 7,000 calories per day, and I'm trying to eat clear, you know. So it's my main meals. It's like 1 kilos of rice, white rice, 2 steaks, and veggies. So it's 3-4 times per day. I'm eating these portions, and breakfast is different because I'm eating like 8 whole eggs and 4 whites.
Okay.
Eating mushrooms, some greens, some veggies, and 3 pieces of bread.
Okay. And do you prepare all your food yourself? Do you prepare your food, or does someone else prepare your food for you?
Most often, I'm preparing food for myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not difficult, you know.
No.
Cooking rice. I have electric grill.
Yeah.
So it's not difficult.
Yeah. And it's two
Almost-
steaks and rice.
Most difficult is to eat this amount of food. But because all time you're with full belly, you're sleepy because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
was
a
just
bit lazy
imagining.
because of full belly.
Yeah, I was just imagining trying to eat 12, like basically 12 eggs for breakfast. Yeah, I might give that a go tomorrow.
Breakfast it's good. It's not so much, and I'm adding to this eggs like goat cheese or cheddar. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's nice, and mushrooms, greens. So it's
Yeah, no, that's great. And do you have a job as well? Do you have another job, or are you a full-time strongman, full-time professional strongman now?
Yeah, I'm physical therapist, as I told you.
Okay.
But now I'm working much less,
Mhm.
and because I have opportunity to spend more time for trainings, for rest, and but I'm still working.
Yeah, yeah. So physical therapist,
Yeah.
but working less than you used to and spending more time
Yeah.
training.
So I'm not working full day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excellent. And in terms of, because I know strongman is a very, very tough sport, you're putting yourself through, like you say, 6 times a week, training very hard, eating lots. What do you have any specific kind of recovery protocols or things that you use for recovery and rest? Do you do anything specific in terms of therapy for yourself when you're not training?
Yeah, you just need to do anything um, out of gym, like walking with dog, with friends, wife, girlfriend, like playing. I like playing PS with friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Also, I'm doing sauna. I'm doing massage. So, just everything. What help you to recover better, and what help you to like change your mind, to change your focus from trainings.
Okay.
Because if you are staying in focus all the time, it's very exhausting.
Yeah.
So.
And how much sleep do you get each night? Is it important for you to make sure you get lots of sleep to recover? Obviously, because you get stronger and you repair and recover while you're sleeping. So, I mean, how much do you try to sleep each night?
Yeah, sleep is one of most important things. So I'm trying to sleep at least 8 hours at night and take a daytime nap, like at least 1 hour.
And when do you tend to train? Do you train usually in the mornings or in the afternoons, or what's your preferred time to train?
It's like evening
Evening.
after 6 p.m.
Okay.
I'm trying to train at the same time when Giants Live starting their show.
Okay. Yes, your body's used to, kind of acclimatized to training at that time of night.
So Giants Live show starting at 5 p.m. In Ukraine, it's 7 p.m. So I'm trying to start my training at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Does everybody do that? Because Mark Rifkin talked about this, how he's naturally would go heavy on a Saturday because that's when he used to compete in whatever he was competing in at the time. So do you know how the other guys train, and do they do the same, or is it just they just turn up on the day and hope for the best?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm just doing these things because I think at this level of sport, there is every single thing is important.
Yeah.
Every things which can help you, you need to use.
Yeah. And how long before the competition in London? So if that's on the Saturday, how long before that will you come over to London, and will you kind of get used to being in London for a few days beforehand, or when will you travel over to London?
Because of war and Ukrainian law, every male from 18 to 16 to 60 can't leave Ukraine without permission. So our government gave me permission to live in Ukraine for like I told them I need to leave Ukraine to this competition, and I need 7 days. So they give me permission to leaving for 7 days. So I'm leaving London at 14th of July.
Okay.
So I'm fly back to Krakow, pick up my car, and going to Ukraine.
Okay. Yeah. So you'll have about 1 week out from over to London. Yeah. Excellent. And do you train? Do you know and train with Alexei Novikov as well? Is he near to you in Ukraine?
He's not near. He living in Kyiv.
Yeah.
So it's 550 kilometers from Lviv.
Yeah.
So it's 6-hour driving.
But he will be. Is he competing in London as well?
He's competing in London as well. Yeah.
So when both of you are competing in London together at the Royal Albert Hall, is there good compatriotism, good camaraderie between the two of you competing together for Ukraine?
It's good because we're gonna travel together. We will speak or something. It's like when you traveling with somebody, your stress level getting low because you have things to do and you don't doing overthinking.
And it's also probably because I can't imagine I'm rubbish with other languages, but for if you've got Alexei with you and you're obviously talking just in your native language to each other, it's a lot more relaxing, because I can imagine that if you're trying to translate and talk in a language that isn't your first language all the time, that's also takes a lot of energy, doesn't it, and a lot of concentration.
Yeah, because with Alexei we are in good relations, we are like we can friends, so we can laugh, like talking something funny, watching movies, videos, or something like that,
Yeah.
Or we can just go walk in London or in Krakow or in my city, because Alexei going from Kyiv to Lviv, because Lviv is very close to the Polish-Ukrainian border.
Yeah. Excellent. And what are you feeling like in advance? It's about 3 weeks out from the competition in London. Are you feeling in good shape, and you're feeling strong, and you're feeling positive about how you may be able to perform in London?
No, I'm trying to focus in each training sessions and doing my best in every training session. I don't want to think about competition, because it's improve your stress level. Because you start overthinking, you start to worry about competition. I don't want to do that, because it's better when you are just focused on your trainings, and after you're doing the loading phase, and you're calm going to the competition and trying to compete. I will start worried anyway, because when it's competition day, yeah, I'm worried a lot. I'm feeling anxiety. Sometimes I'm puked in the morning because of nervous, because I'm worried. So when I'm home, when I'm calm, I'm just trying to focus on my training sessions, to my meals, to my sleep, recovering.
It's
To
interesting.
be honest, now I'm done thinking about competition.
No
at all.
It's interesting because we've spoke to a number of people, including like people who've been to the Olympics and things like that, and you can't really control the outcome in 3 weeks or 4 weeks time. You can only really control what you're doing in the moment and every day, can't you? So in some ways, like you say, it's putting unnecessary stress thinking about something in the future, which you can only really control what you're doing in the moment. So but it's interesting, really interesting to hear. Obviously that you obviously have nerves and things prior to a competition, because there's going to be thousands of people watching and cheering for you. So the Giants Live, I mean, really the Giants Live shows that you do, they're huge, aren't they? They've really changed the face of kind of strongman, I think, from what I can understand. Is that how you feel as well?
Sorry, my cat just playing with my
Your cat's just banged your modem. Okay.
Yeah,
There you go.
Can you, oh, Serpent. Can you please repeat your question?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, it seems to me that the Giants live shows that you're obviously involved in, these big arena shows where you may be in like a huge thing like the Royal Albert Hall or some of the big shows up in Manchester and things, they've really changed the face of strongman for lots of the competitors in terms of the number of people that you can compete in front of and the sizes of the audience. Do you like being in those big shows with the big audiences and things?
Yeah, I like it. You know, last year it was my first time I'm competing at London at Royal Albert Hall, and this atmosphere in there, you feeling like gladiator in Coliseum. You know, Royal Albert Hall, it's unique place. So I didn't compete in any other place which I can compete like with Royal Albert Hall. You know.
Yeah.
It's very different.
And the world's strongest man this year that's just gone that you were competing at, that looked very different as well. They had like like an arena built outside and proper seating and everything, and it was that looked a lot more professional and a lot better this year for you to compete in. Was that good the way they did that this year?
Yeah, they did better than last year, but you know, Giants Live Show with their huge crowd, with their location for competition like Royal Albert Hall or First Diet Arena, it's different level, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if you talk about like competition, like for only for competition, World Strongest Man, it's harder because you're competing 4 days. It's very exhausting. But if you're talking about Giants Live, it's like more a show, huge crowd. You're competing maybe for 3 hours. You went very fast.
Yeah.
So,
Excellent. Well, Pavlo, I think we'll start to wrap up there. I mean, I really appreciate you joining us today and spending your time and coming on and speaking to us. And it's just been lovely to speak to you. And I really appreciate you making the time to come on. And I appreciate you answering the questions we've had. And I know it's not your first language, so it's been fantastic talking to you. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have a nice time. Hopefully, when you come over to London, the sun will be shining. It will be a nice summer's kind of few days, so you can have a nice walk around London as well and see some of the sights and things. Yeah,
I like London, yeah, and I was pleasure to speak with you guys.
Yeah.
And it's also helped me to improve my English.
Well,
That's because I didn't say anything.
But no, hopefully, but like hopefully, like I say, I'll be there at the Royal Albert Hall, so hopefully I'll be able to maybe see you when you're there. But it'll be fantastic. And is there a general just before we go? Is there a general quite when you compete at the Giants Live event like you did I was there last year as well at the Royal Albert Hall. Is there a good atmosphere between all the competitors? Is there generally, does everybody get on quite well behind the scenes? Is it quite even though you're there to compete, is it fairly friendly? Is it fairly everyone's supportive of each other and things at those events, or what's the atmosphere like?
Atmosphere like you know, very loud, huge friend company. Yeah, laughing, joking, chilling.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, if people don't,
this is one of the reasons why I love the sport, because of community, you know.
Yeah, it does seem to me everyone we've spoke to and what we see, we go to the events and things, and it does seem that there's a lot of camaraderie and friendship and support, and it's good fun, and you're all competing against each other, but you're all very kind of, good friends behind the scenes and things as well. So it's great to hear that that's the case as well from your point of view.
Yeah, you know, our sport is very like, there's a lot of kind people, a lot of friendly people. We are like brothers in sports, you know.
No, that's fantastic. And Pavlo,
We're all doing like one thing we're enjoying, lifting heavy. So.
Yeah. Excellent. And Pavlo, if people don't currently follow you and things, where are you quite active on Instagram and things? What's your social media platform that you kind of post so people can find out more about you and follow your training and everything?
On my Instagram, and I have plans to do my YouTube channel, but it's a bit you know, it's a bit expensive in Ukraine to have like cameraman, like to production the content. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to manage it. So now you can watch my Instagram stories or my Instagram to watch my trainings.
yeah. And I'm just having a quick look on here. So it's Pavlo, Pavlo _ Kordiyaka. Yeah, Pavlo Kordiyaka, Pavlo _ Kordiyaka on there, which I'd really recommend people follow, because I see you training in the gym and doing all of your training, and that looks, is the gym where you train, is that quite close to where you live?
Yeah, it's maybe for 5 kilometers from my home.
Okay, so fairly close.
And the gym is pretty huge. It's like 5,000 square meters, so it's huge.
Does it have a running track inside as well? It looks
Yes,
like
yeah.
a running track around inside as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. This track is 100 meters.
Okay. So you've got a running track, and then a lot of the time I see you doing your strength training sort of in the middle of the track, you know, kind of in the insert. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a second floor, like this lifting area also.
Excellent. Wow. So it's a huge place then. Brilliant. Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Pavlo, for joining us.
My pleasure.
And if people are listening to this, I know the Royal Albert Hall is already, well, this is the day before Pavlo's going to be in London that this comes out, and I know it's sold out well in advance, but it will be on TV in England at Christmas, as always. It's always on TV at Christmas over here, so you'll be able to watch Pavlo. But do definitely give Pavlo a follow on Instagram. He's a really interesting strongman, and I know, as you've heard, a lovely guy as well, and a cat lover, which we've found out today as well. So.
There seems to be a lot of huge men who love cats. Like, who was it who we had on?
Oh, it was
Mike Sousa.
Mike Sousa, yeah.
He's massive, and he's like, oh, cats. Oh.
Yeah, very sweet with cats. Yeah.
You know, Hafthor Bjornsson loves cat as well.
Does he? Hafthor Bjornsson loves cats. Okay, brilliant. Okay.
That's why I like dogs, because I'm only little. You see, not big enough to like cats.
Yeah. Okay, thank you everybody for listening. Please do like, share, subscribe, leave a review if you're watching or listening on a platform that allows you to do so, especially if you're on Apple Podcasts. We will be back next week for episode 203 with Andrew Russell from Ireland. So we'll be on with he is in Ireland, isn't he, Pete? Andrew?
Yeah, he's Northern Ireland, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, he's in Ireland, so we have an Irish English speaker on next week. But thank you very much, Pavlo. I hope your last few weeks of prep go really well, and hopefully I can catch up with you when you're in London. Because we've actually got, obviously, Magnus for Magnusson will be there as the head referee. He's coming the day after that event to my gym to do a seminar. So I'll be meeting Magnus then as well. So hopefully I can see you while we're there. But yeah, it'll be great. I'll be cheering you on at the Royal Albert Hall tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. We'll stay in touch, and yeah, I wish you all the best for everything going forward. Thank you so much, Pavlo.
See you in London.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.